my love bugs. This is Stephanie with ReclaimingLoveCo.com, and I'm your love expert here on YouTube. So I really wanted to just jump in and let's get started on communication. So this morning I was talking to my mother, and I love bringing you personal experiences because I think they're such relatable experiences on a daily basis. So I was talking to my mother, and she was telling me how she's having a hard time communicating with my little sister. My little sister being a 14-year-old little person. So I know sometimes that can be very difficult at times. My mom says, I really don't know what to do. So I started thinking that communication on a daily basis is not just with our 14-year-old child, but it could be with our husband, it could be with our spouse, it could be with a manager at work, your best friend, and we're dealing with these communication topics on a daily basis, especially in love and relationships. So we always want to have a great mindset when communicating, and we also need to find out the different forms of communication. Typical forms of communication are very simple. We think there's only one way to do it. We think talking is the answer, and talking, although it is the main source of communication, it's kind of like our love language. There's more than one love language. There's also more than one way to communicate. So let's get started on some different ways communication that actually takes place. Number one, or the first one, is speaking. Of course, we speak to each other on a daily basis, so we actually kind of assume that this is the best way to communicate. Speaking and actually telling someone how you feel is going to be very simplistic for us. This is what we're bred to do. We're known to do this as soon as we're about a couple of years of age, is start talking and telling that other person is what we want, what we need, how we need to be loved, and that's going to be pretty simple, right? Other forms of communication is writing. When we think about writing communication, some people will say, how is writing communicating? At points in time, we actually have a hard time expressing through our emotions when we're sad, angry, frustrated. So writing can be a really great coping mechanism because we can actually write out how we feel versus feeling and then responding. Writing is actually going to help us also calm our mood down, help our mentality slow down, and really feel where we're at when we're going through that emotion. Writing can be a healthy form of really fixing the issue, internally or verbally to someone else. So writing can be taken place in a daily journal, or it can be taken place in a letter to someone, but writing can always help us express ourselves when we know that verbally it's not going to come out the way we anticipate. Another form is texting. So going back to my mother, she says, Ruby's texting me. This is perfect. Sometimes younger people, or people of any age really, can probably cope with texting a little bit easier. It just depends. It could be with emojis or it could be just a text message, but texting sometimes can be helpful because now if you think about it, text message is just as important as phone conversations or communicating through speech. So texting can be helpful. Although be very careful when texting because it can come off in a different tone than anticipated, or it can actually, I guess, bring us to some misunderstandings. So make sure if we're texting, we're doing it in a very clear sense. Emojis help clarify our mood or expression, whether it's the happy emoji, the crying emoji, the excited emoji, so sometimes that helps out. Memes can be helpful, but just be careful with the texting. Some people need to do thinking before discussing. That's okay. Sometimes news is given to us at unexpected times, or we just don't know how to feel about it. So taking time to yourself to actually process the feelings and then discussing at a later time is super helpful. At times, it could be angry news, sad news, or very joyous news, but taking some time to process is going to be a good route if you feel like this is a little bit overwhelming. Whatever the news could be, taking a walk or taking the day, taking a couple of hours to actually come back and express how you feel is going to be helpful at times in order to make sure that we're expressing ourselves in a healthy way. Video chatting. Video chatting is such a new form of communication, and it's used actually really often because at our current situation, we're not able to see each other, touch each other, or communicate in a way we would normally go on a daily basis. So video chatting is very useful at the moment. If you're feeling like, if I try to talk to this person over conversation on the phone, it may not be expressed in the way I'm intending, or through text message, let's do a video chat. This can be helpful in long distance relationships. This can be helpful especially if you're not going to see the person for a few days. Video chatting can really kill the dead air, the anticipation, and it could really also help diffuse, how can we say this? It can really help diffuse negative thoughts or intentions and really just help clear the air. When communicating, we always want to make sure we have a nice, clear mindset. Mindset is going to be the key to every single communication, whether that's talking to the waitress or discussing something with your husband. We always want to make sure to have a clear mindset when trying to actually reach for a goal. Focusing on a resolution is going to help us really conclude the discussion in a nice, peaceful manner. If you don't know what the resolution is, it's okay. Take some time to think about where you want to go with the discussion or the topic of discussion. And it's okay not to have a resolution right off the front end. That's okay, because sometimes we need two minds to think about where we're going in order to fix the issue. So if you feel this, say, it's okay not to have a resolution right now. Let's both think about this. And how can we fix this together? Resolution is key, but we also want to be okay if the resolution doesn't happen right away. So thank you, my love bugs, for joining me in this short video of communication and having a clear mindset while communicating. I hope this has been helpful. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment in my channel to what some other topics are I can cover and what you would like to see from me next. If you would like to book a session with me, I'd love to have you. I'd love to hear you out, to see what you're going through in life and just to talk. Please go to my website, reclaimingloveco.com. That's reclaimingloveco.com. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I hope you and wish you the best.